But what I'm not gonna do today is try to convince y'all that is not a cult. I think that there are cult parts of it. We burn a bunch of art and it's a celebration of art. It's a really fun time. I think everyone should go to Burning Man once.
Oh, hell
no! Hey y'all, it's Chrysantilus. Thanks for coming along today for another video. If you are new here, welcome. We are a realm dedicated to psychedelics and sacred plant medicine, all about demystifying and destigmatizing the trip. So today we are doing something a little bit different. Today I'm presenting a new Reddit series. So I will be answering questions about psychedelics, sacred plant medicine, and culture from Reddit. If you've seen my videos before, you know I take a lot of time to edit them. They are hyper edited. Today, I wanted to challenge myself to make a video that is quick to film and quick to edit. So this video will not be hyper edited, but let me know if you enjoy the style of it. If so, I'll be able to put out more videos more often. I'm gonna try to release 2 videos this week, so let's see how this goes. This is just a little experiment. Let's get into it.
Is Burning Man a cult? I have a ticket to go this year and I have been going to a lot of local events in SF, but sometimes I get a weird feeling I am joining a cult. Can you guys please help me squash this?
Let me start off with some of the reasons why I think Burning Man could be considered a cult, personally, before I even log into the Reddits of things. Amongst burners, amongst our community, Burning Man is exalted as this thing of almost perfection, right? This life-altering, beautiful, wonderful experience.
So, how was Burning Man?
How was Burning Man?
What's wrong?
It's just a fundamentally absurd question. That's all. How was Burning Man? You should be asking me, how wasn't Burning Man? How was Burning Man? That's cute.
I don't understand.
It's okay, don't beat yourself up. Let me say this. The burn was everything I needed it to be. Everything I wanted it to be. Plus, none of that. It was spiritual, physical, mental. It was everything. It was literally everything.
I'd say I do see certain elements of cult think in Burning Man, especially cult face. So if you look at pictures of burners, they've got this this cult face. Do you know what I mean? This crazed look in their eyes, this cult face. Honestly, I think we could explain this with substances, especially things that come to my mind that begin with the letter M and the letter L. But there is that cult face. There is that shared communal, it is this overarching feeling of virtuosity. It is this glazed look over people's face, similar to cult documentaries that I've seen when you look at the members and they are all just completely lost in the sauce. But again, a lot of people are journeying and tripping at Burning Man, so there are more than one plate spinning. So one point I forgot to make was the cult speak at Burning Man. Some terms that come to mind are moop, playa dust, sparkle pony. It's specific lingo, specific slang that serves to identify you as an in-group member and further polarize out-group members and non-burners, especially if you use these terms in what burners would call the default world. So there is definitely cult speak going on at Burning Man. Reasons personally why I don't think Burning Man would technically meet the requirements to be considered a cult. One, it is not long enough. So it's my understanding that when you're in a cult, it is a 24/7 commitment. A lot of people live with their cults in intentional communities. I think that Burning Man could definitely be considered an intentional community because we're an entire city that pops up in the middle of the desert for a week. It's an intentional community. However, lasting only a week, I don't think that it lasts long enough to be a cult. When I think of a cult, I feel like you're in a cult until you're not. It's an ongoing commitment, 24/7. You're living with the folks, all that kind of stuff. And Burning Man is just not long enough to be a cult, duration-wise. But while we're in it, maybe we are a pop-up cult, if that's possible. I'd say at most we are a pop-up intentional community. And if you don't know, intentional community is a PC term for cults, communes, etc. So, is Burning Man a cult? Am I in a cult? Am I a cult member? I go to Burning Man. Is Burning Man a cult? Now, this is a very contentious question. This question attracts a lot of polarity. It depends who you ask. A lot of people do see Burning Man as a cult. Today, I will be sharing my opinions of the whys and the why nots, why Burning Man may be a cult, why Burning Man may not be a cult. I'm looking at a Reddit post right now that says, is Burning Man a cult that takes advantage of its followers financially? So, for those of you who don't know what Burning Man is, let's give you the rundown. Burning Man is a festival of arts. It's the largest arts festival in the world. The last Burning Man, I believe, was around 80,000 people who came, and the folks who attend Burning Man were known as burners. Burning Man lasts only for about 7 days. It lasts about a week, and it concludes with big burns. So we burn the man, we burn the temple, we burn a bunch of art, and it's a celebration of art. It's a really fun time. I think everyone should go to Burning Man once. Oh, hell no! But let's talk about the finances. Burning Man, depending on who you are, can be extremely expensive. So I've heard some people say that going to Burning Man costs at least $10,000 at the least. That is absolutely not true. I've spent between $1,500 to $3,000 to go to Burning Man, and most of that is air and hotel. Once you get to Burning Man, everything is free, but the Burning Man organization, they do get ticket sales, right? So, is Burning Man a cult that takes advantage of its followers financially? Someone has posted a quote from Larry Harvey, that is one of the founders of Burning Man, that I will read. When we say we're a cult, we reply that it's a self-service cult. You wash your own brain. Now, this is a quote from Larry Harvey, who some might argue could be one of the cult leaders. He is no longer with us, and he is a very a polarizing character, to say the least. Some people love him, some people can't stand him. I know me personally, I'm not such a big fan of Larry Harvey. Some of the things he's said about people of color attending Burning Man has rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, so he says that Burning Man is basically a self-service cult. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it definitely doesn't have a central figurehead leader, but like, let's look at some of the qualifications for something to be a cult. Okay. Cult checklist. I'm searching cult checklist. Qualities and characteristics of a cult. Cult research. The group displays an excessively zealous and unquestionable commitment to its leader, whether he is dead or alive. Burning Man doesn't really have a leader. Burning Man is a festival, so that's no. Questioning, doubt, and dissent are discouraged or even punished. It depends on who you ask, right? So if you ask me about Burning Man, I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to welcome doubt and dissent and even shade, because I know certain parts of it are completely ridiculous and inaccessible. It is something massively privileged to do. I'm going to make a future video on how privileged it is to be able to set your entire life aside and go out to the desert and live. Mind-altering practices, meditation, chanting, speaking in tongues, denunciation sessions, check. Definitely. I mean, Burning Man is known as a hub of psychedelic culture, so that's definitely a check. The leadership dictates, sometimes in great detail, how members should think, act, and feel. I think that this is kind of a check because Burning Man has 10 principles, the 11th honorary principle being consent. So I think that we are dictated, like how we should act is dictated. The group claims to be special. Yes, definitely. That's a check. The group has a polarized us versus them mentality, which can cause conflict in the wider society. Now, there are burners who talk about the difference between burners and Burning Man and the default world and normies, and they do have definitely that like elitist mentality. So one of my big things is I'm trying to get more people of color out to Burning Man, and I've talked to burners, literally burners of color, about getting more people of color out to Burning Man, and there is this kind of elitist idea that, oh, well, if someone's not at Burning Man, they're just not ready to be at Burning Man. And I don't think that a lot of people of color are ready to be at Burning Man. And I think that is applicable across different communities. Like, people think that they are, for some reason, the special ones, the chosen ones to be at Burning Man. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. The leader is not accountable to any authorities. We don't have a leader. The leadership induces feelings of shame and or guilt in order to influence and control its members. I don't think we have that. Subservience to the leader or group requires members to cut ties with family and friends. That is not the case. In fact, a lot of burners try to bring their family and friends to their next burn. So I know for me, I proselytize, I spread the good word, I bring my friends to Burning Man, trying to get my family to Burning Man. The group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. The group is preoccupied with making money. No, we do not make money. The organization makes money, but if we didn't have the org making money, we'd have no Burning Man, because again, it is a festival. Now let's move on to the comments on Reddit. Let's see what y'all have to say. One comment says, yes, exactly, Burning Man has a lot of trappings of a cult, but the key points of a cult just don't fit. I would agree. I think Burning Man is, like, again, a pop-up intentional community, an intentional city. Another comment says, the org does have a history of using volunteers hard until they burn out. I think this is an excellent point. However, there aren't the usual cult-like behaviors of cutting people off from their other social support systems and shunning people who try to leave the group. There's an old saying on the crew, do your part and be an earner, or they'll replace you with the burner. So the org does have a history of completely overworking the folks who work on Burning Man. And I think this is kind of like the threat that if you don't do your part to earn your money, they will replace you with just like a burner, just someone attending the festival to do what you came to be paid to do. And I have personally seen people, even just in my camps, work their butt off with absolutely no monetary compensation. I do think people get taken advantage of, especially if you're a super giving person. I've seen people who came to have a fun burn and ended up spending the majority of their burn volunteering at camp because others who signed up for volunteer shifts, for example, did not want to do their part. That's technically separate and aside from the org, but the org has been known to overwork workers, literally to the most severe of consequences. So it's not all rainbows and sparkle ponies. It's there are some very dark sides to Burning Man. I personally look forward to a burn where post-burn, the articles don't start pouring out about how the workers were treated during the burn. I think that there is a lot of change that is needed in the org to protect the folks that work, the folks that volunteer, the folks that sacrifice so much of their time to make Burning Man a possibility. I don't think that they get their just due. And a lot of them are burners, right? A lot of them sign up for this knowingly, a lot of them willingly do this, but still, I think that it's still an imbalance of power that we see on the playa. So, unlike most cults, I'm seeing another comment here that says, unlike most cults, Burning Man is a federal 501c3. You can go on their website and read their financial disclosures. The highest paid employee makes a little over $200,000 a year, which really isn't overly much for San Francisco. Most of the money taken goes into government fees and insurance. So we're not seeing people in the org big pocketing off of this festival, right? Because this is a multi-million-dollar festival. So for the top earner at the org to only be making $200,000 a year, you know that that money is not just going to stuff pockets, basically. A lot of the times when I tell people that I go to Burning Man and that I'm a burner, a lot of the times one of the number one reactions I get is like, oh, you're in a cult, or isn't that a cult? A lot of people don't know that it's just like a very brief festival that takes place only once a year. But what I'm not gonna do today is try to convince y'all that is not a cult. I think that there are cult parts of it. I'm not making this video to defend Burning Man as a burner. I'm just making this video to give my personal opinions on the situation and also to share some Reddit comments. Okay, this is a comment. Cults have a singular leader. Do not allow outside thought. Shun you if you leave. Yeah, none of that applies to Burning Man. Although you could argue that some of the camps within Burning Man do have leaders. Yeah, but it's not a singular leader for everyone throughout Burning Man. I honestly think you can look at camps as better candidates for a cult because a lot of them are year-round commitments that take place at different burns, and a lot of people who lead camps, it is a weekly commitment throughout the year. Cults isolate you from the rest of the world. Technically, Burning Man does that, but we have internet access. I don't know. Ask for tons of money, usually all of it. Nope, Burning Man only asks for, I think I paid $200 some for the low income ticket, but I think the tickets are around $450 to $500. They really only ask for this much money. And when you get there, there's only like one place you can spend your money, which is at the cafe. But there's also always a bunch of other free food to eat if you don't want to spend your money. But yeah, shout out to Center Camp Cafe. I love going there. Cults ignore law and order for their own divine enforcement. That's not true. Unfortunately, we do have law enforcement at Burning Man. Don't get me started. A Burning Man without like cops and rangers would be dope and amazing, but in the reality that we exist in, I think that gathering 80,000 people together for an event without law enforcement is an event that is never going to get approved legally. So yeah, this person lists all these things out to say that it is not a cult. Someone said, not a cult, but a spiritual experience. The temple and overall collective of people is very powerful. Definitely a community. Somebody wrote, cults require greater collective agreement than burners could possibly muster. Damn. Apply water directly to the burn. Damn. I love Burning Man roasts. Last year when Burning Man got canceled, I made an entire video collecting Burning Man roasts in tweet form. Please go check it out. I'll link it in the description. I love Burning Man roasts. I'm here for them. Cheers. Roast me all day. Roast what I love. Because you know what? They're funny. The vast majority of them are well written. They're funny. That's what matters. It's really great comedy. Sure, it can be a cult if you want it to be. Someone said, it's a cult, but it's the best cult. And then, yeah, people are just really getting into it. Paragraphs and paragraphs I'm seeing. It's definitely somewhat of a cult / religion, and especially for my atheist burners, I wanted to do a presentation for diversity, equity, and inclusion at my financial job and was shot down as it was looked at like a religion. So I'm seeing that people are not able to speak about Burning Man because other people deem it as a religion. That's absolutely wild and insane to me. But yeah, the Church of Playa looks like a cult, smells like a cult, sounds like a cult. Nah, it couldn't be a cult. I think it's pretty challenging because people are having very, very highly spiritual experiences here, and they're coming back into the world of non-burners with like this. I'll have to link a video that's like what burners sound like after Burning Man. It's absolutely hilarious.
The other one is a metamorphosis of, This is when I was born. I went to Burning Man, I did a snow angel in the playa dust, rang the bell, then a 7-foot-tall non-gendered bird monster walked with me when I lost my soul in a dust storm, drinking Capri Suns with a couple of girls in feather boas. A Zulu warrior appears. I wake up on top of a full-size 757 out by the trash fence. There's no money. There's a good one. Look at that one. Suddenly I'm in a 1,000-person lightsaber duel deep playa. I found this. That's where I stayed, Cohesion. These guys are actually just DJs.
These all look the same.
This pill completely reinvents your personality.
I'm glad you had fun.
Asshole! Fun is what you have down at the water park at Jimmy's birthday party, eating cheeseburgers and playing grab ass. The burn is the entire spectrum of human experience concentrated. Nothing short of literal fucking magic.
But we come back like absolute zealots, like, oh my God, let me tell you about my burn. A lot of us are like, describe it as one of the most important experiences in our lives. I know I definitely do. So it's challenging, right? Is it a cult? Is it not a cult? Comment what you think down below. I'm not sold on Burning Man being a full cult. I, however, would love to hear what y'all think. I think that Burning Man is a pop-up intentional community. at the least, and maybe camps are a cult or could be the cult at the most. But yeah, this was just a quick little video. If y'all enjoyed it, let me know and I will make more. If you got a kick out of it, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'm making my way to my first 5,000 subscribers. I also have a playlist called Black Rock City Living. If you are curious about Burning Man, all of my Burning Man videos are under that playlist. And I am also selling merch. You can get this dope merch and some of your own Keep It Trippy things on my Threadless shop. And lastly, I am also on Instagram and TikTok as Chrysantilus. Please follow me in those places. Again, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for joining me today for this quick little shorty, this little Reddit asks, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but I've appreciated having you here. I know it's been very different than my typical videos, but if you enjoy it, I promise to make more. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all soon. Keep it trippy.